Alrighty, I hope everybody's been doing well and enjoying pretty much a mild winter so far, at least in the Northeast. There's been a few days that have been super cold, but for the most part, it's been very mild, luckily. I thought I'd do, it's probably the last video of my favorite strain videos. And I'm starting out with a few day old Black Moscows. And you can see they are tiny, and the plants aren't particularly big, so these are really tiny fish. Thought about putting in an adult so you can just get an idea how small, but I didn't want them to disappear. Let's see if we can shoot them from the top. There you can kind of see they're pretty tiny. So not too much to see with them. Now, the parents usually leave the fry alone, but not when they're a day or two old. I guess they look like food. They're just tiny black specks. They're actually even tinier than this. And they go after them like crazy, which is why I have plants in the tanks. So this one is a cull. The tail got nipped, but it's kind of weird looking. I can't tell if the tail part of it's about to fall off or if there was like some stripes kind of in there. But anyway, so he's out, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with him. Kind of stinks, but where'd he go? There he is. Kind of interesting, but you can see he's young. You can see the black color is already completely in, except for the stomach, bottom of the stomach. It's the only spot that doesn't get color on these. So, did you know you can tell the sex of an ant by dropping them into the water? Now, if the ant sinks, it's a girl ant. But if it floats, it's a boy ant. Boy ant. Oh, awful. A long joke that's awful. Is there anything worse than that? Anyway, these are a bunch of different aged females. And you can see they have characteristics of Moscows in that the females have a very round tail. Now, if you tried to enter these in a black female class of the IFGA, they'd probably get DQ'd because they have to be pretty black. I forget what the percentage is. It's one of the classes I used to show fish in years ago. But they upped it to, I think it might have to be 60 or 70% black. And these really don't have that, in my opinion. There may be 40% black, maybe 50 tops. But really nice fish. They're very uniform. They all end up looking the same, which is what uniform means. And these are various age ones. There's somewhere in there is a very young one right there. And I left a male in there. I got to get him out. But this is just a photo tank, and they're going to go back into the regular tank. But I probably should have done a separate tank of the full blacks, because I do have them as well. And they are slightly different. Mainly the males. They have Dumbo pec fins, and the spot under the stomach is filled in with black. So anyway, you can get a good idea what the females look like. They don't get a real long dorsal. I have had some that got a super elongated dorsal, but I tried to get that going as a line. I separated those females and moved them out with a couple of the males, the brothers actually. But they weren't very fertile. They had fry. In fact, they had a few albino fry, but it's pretty much a complete degradation of the line once that starts happening. So it led me to assume that the elongated dorsal is also just the beginning of the end. So I kind of abandoned that. I only wasted one tank when trying to do that. But they're all in pretty good shape. I think I have one in here I have to do like minor surgery on. She chomped up a plant and it's stuck in her mouth. So there we go, that one. So I'm gonna have to get her in a net and get some tweezers and pull out the plant. I don't know, she's a vegan, I guess. Very weird. So we'll see. I'll probably do that after the video. So did you hear about the pregnant bed bug? She'll be having her baby in the spring. In the spring. Oh, that's awful. Alright, that's two bad jokes. Alright, and these are some assorted males. I tried to see if the light will actually make it so you can see them. I think I have pretty much all white LEDs overhead. And I can't tell if this is focused or not. But I did put a couple of really young ones in there. Should be that one right there. As I catch the plant. That one. Now that you can see they develop the black very, very quickly. If you would stay the heck on here. I did put in some live baby brine shrimp, which is what they've been eating. And alright, these guys aren't slowing down. I don't know what they're thinking there. I thought by putting in a tank with no females, they might just calm down. Now that one looks a little bit blue, but I think I have a couple of blue LEDs right there. So it's one of the things I check on with these, just to see if they're developing other colors. That's kind of the problem. There's two problems with Black Moscows. One is they have like a rounded tail. They don't get a straight caudal edge. So you kind of lose points with that if you're trying to show them in the black class in the IFGA. You'll pick up some points, I guess, for all the black, but you'll lose some points on how the tail edge is. You can kind of see, if you would slow down, you can see how it's already rounded. And the other problem with them is they tend to look kind of different shades in different kinds of water. If they're not really comfortable, they're almost like a mood ring fish. If they're not comfortable in the water, they may look purplish, bluish, greenish, and that's just going to get DQ'd. So, now the interesting thing with the Black Moscows, I was one of the first people to sell them in the United States. I imported them from a guy in Asia who's no longer selling. He was one of the biggest sellers back then. This was around 2006. And I imported a couple of trios of Black Moscows from him. And I imported a couple of trios from a different guy. And I crossed them. And I've been getting Black Moscows ever since. So I believe I was the first one in the United States to sell them on Aquabid. I'd say check the feedback, but I think all those auctions are kind of stored now somewhere. So it'll just say not found or something. Interesting, I thought. I'll try to get a close-up on some of these. I really can't figure out why they won't calm down. So, see if we can get some of them to take it easy. They're just in a plastic, plexiglass actually, photo tank. And the problem if you keep these going, once they get older, like this one, the females tend to nip at the tail. And it will grow back, but it'll be like a little bit funky. This one's okay. And it's very annoying. I've tried just limiting the amount of females, but I guess at some point they get hungry, and that all black tail looks like food, so they go after it and they just nip at the edge of the tail. And if I kind of got rid of the ones that they really ripped up, so I really can't show that. But anyhow, like I said, it's one of my favorite strains. They're beautiful, even though they're really just a black fish. It's kind of strange, you know. You would think multicolored guppies are cool or whatever, but this is pretty interesting. And the other thing I've found from doing various crosses, as with pretty much all Moscows, the female is almost not quite neutral, but she really doesn't pass on the characteristics of the males. And I've used them for some really good crosses. That's how I came up with the black lace snake skins, although they're technically, I think they're cobras. I think they don't have enough of the pattern to be considered snake skin. I'll probably do a video on some of them in the future, near distant future. But you can get an idea how nice these fish are. And appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or put them in the comments. And kind of out of ideas on what else to talk about with these guys. So it would have been nice if they would have slowed the heck down, just so I could get a good view of them, but they don't like to do that. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. And I'll try to have a video up a lot quicker. I know I've been taking my time lately, but I'll get back to kind of getting them done. Alright, thank you.